Oh, wow. It's beautiful. I better get this inside before anybody sees. Donkey Kong is the lovable ape from Kong Island. He was originally going to be the Popeye character Bluto for the original version of the Donkey Kong arcade game. However, due to licensing issues, he had to be changed. That's when Shigeru Miyamoto created Donkey Kong, Jumpman, and Pauline. Jumpman, of course, later became Mario. After the initial success of the arcade game, Donkey Kong drifted along, relegated to educational games and bad sequels, lost after Mario eclipsed him as Nintendo's golden goose. But then, suddenly, he got hooked to some power. Superpower. The Super Nintendo released in 1990, and it came with Mario World. Yet again, Donkey Kong had been snubbed, but the power grew and grew until DK exploded back onto the scene in Donkey Kong Country. However, there was controversy, and in the documentary Donkey Kong Country Exposed, this controversy was brought to light. This controversy was how it was made. It was made with Silicon Graphics computers, with 3D models, technically making this the first Nintendo game where you control a 3D model. Nintendo was very ahead of the time with this decision, but Nintendo didn't actually make the game. A small company at the time called Rareware, who was based out of England, made the game. And they were the driving force between Donkey Kong's revival and the entire franchise up until the beginning of the GameCube era. Now that I'm safe, I can finally show you what I found. This is the box for Donkey Kong Country, which is a rare find due to its cardboard construction. The box itself has the Nintendo and Super Nintendo logo on the front, alongside the ESRB rating, which is K-A, kids to adults. Along the right-hand side, there's 16 vertical yellow dots, representing the 16 bits of the console's games. There's also a red to yellow gradient in the corner, saying only for Nintendo. These features are common across all Super Nintendo games. The unique features are the sprawling art containing Donkey and Diddy Kong fleeing a cavalcade of enemies, with the Donkey Kong Country logo up in the top left-hand corner. The Donkey Kong Country logo is a blend of the old Donkey Kong logo with a different font for the word country, surrounded by a green leafy jungle backdrop. The sides of the box each have the jungle backdrop with the Donkey Kong Country logo, and on the top and bottom there's a red line that wraps onto the front. The back of the box has 4 screenshots of the game with a blurb written about the game to the left of them. Donkey Kong is back with a new sidekick, Diddy Kong, in a crazy island adventure. Challenged by the crazed tribe of reptilian Kremlings, they endeavor to get back their stolen banana horde. Armed with lightning-quick moves, chest-pounding muscle, and awesome aerial acrobatics, our duo is ready to face their cunning adversaries with the help of Donkey Kong's quirky family and his wild animal mounts. They squabble and scamper their way through unending monkey mayhem. The back of the box also has the jungle background and the Nintendo seal of quality. I think it's time to open it up. Let's go over the manual. The cover has the box art elongated to the full size of the manual. On the first page, you can see the original Donkey Kong has aged into Cranky Kong, a helper character who appears throughout the game and the manual, making witty quips. The first real page delves into the story of the game. Diddy Kong is taking his turn guarding the banana horde when he's ambushed by the Kremlings, and all the bananas are stolen, so it's your job as the player to reclaim the bananas. Next up is the 3 modes you can play in: 1-player, 2-player contest, and 2-player team. The first 2 are pretty self-explanatory, but the 2-player team mode is quite unusual. One player plays as Donkey Kong, and the second player controls Diddy Kong. The players switch whenever one is injured, which I've never seen before in a game. The next page in the manual explains the map of Kong Island, on which you can find Candy Kong, Donkey Kong's girlfriend, and the saving point in between levels. There's also Funky's Flights, which allows you to return to previously completed levels and play them again to find secrets or collect lives. Speaking of lives, there's 3 distinct versions of the classic 1-up in this game. There's a red, green, and blue balloon, each worth a different number of lives. Another collectible is the Kong tiles. Collect all 4 hidden across the level for an extra life. Like this! Next up is the barrels. There's 8 unique barrels in the game, starting with the basic barrel. It's pretty simple. It's a barrel. You just throw it and it breaks. You can use it to fight enemies, but otherwise it's pretty useless. Then there's the TNT barrel. This barrel explodes on impact, so be careful when you grab it. After that, you can find the barrel cannons that launch you far. There's 2 kinds. One that you can choose to fire at any time, and ones that launch you immediately, so watch out. There's DK barrels that contain whatever Kong you don't currently have. Next is the checkpoint barrel. That is, well, a checkpoint. Pretty self-explanatory. And finally, there's the steel kegs that are indestructible, which you can also roll on top of like in classic cartoons. There's also the animal friends: Rambi the rhino, Espresso the ostrich, Ungard the swordfish, Winky the frog, and lastly, Squawks the parrot. Each with unique abilities, like running fast, attacking with a horn, holding a light, and even attacking underwater. And now the final pages in the manual that go over the enemies. There's crushes, clumps, critters, rock crocs, zingers, neckies, mini neckies, manky kongs, armies, slippas, and then there's the aquatic enemies: Chomps, Chomps Jr., Squidge, Croctopus, and Climb. And that's the end of the manual. So, let's get to the game itself. It's time to end this. Let's start off with the main setting of the game. The game mainly takes place on Kong Isle, which is an island in the shape of Donkey Kong's head, which makes me wonder if the shape of it was that before or after Donkey Kong was born. You know, there's 6 unique types of levels on Kong Island. I'm gonna go over them one by one. First up is your typical jungle levels that mostly consist of jumping around trees and avoiding baddies. There's actually a subcategory here called a bottomless pit level, where you're either being shot from barrels or swinging from vines. There's not much other to say than that, you know, because it's bottomless. So let's move on to the next type of level, the cave level. These levels are levels that take place, you guessed it, in a cave. There's a subset here, and that's minecart levels, where you ride around in a minecart avoiding enemies and broken track. Following that, there's water levels, which nobody likes, so I'm not going to talk about them. After that, there's the temple levels, which are very unique, taking place in an ancient Kong temple with big rodent-operated wheels trying to crush you. Our second to last type of level is snow levels. With slippery controls and winter storms, these levels are quite the challenge. And the last type is the factory levels. These levels are by far the most unique type of level in the game, where you're jumping through a Kremling factory, which produce oil barrels and other various evil things. But Do you want to know something?
I lied.
That's right, there's actually 7 types. The 7th and final type is the boss levels. There's 7 bosses in the game, including the final boss, so let's go through them. First up is Very Naughty, which is just a sized up version of a base game enemy. Mario rules apply here, folks. Jump on it 3 times to take it out. After that, you fight Master Neki. You yet again jump on a sized up enemy's head 3 times. The 3rd boss is Queen Bee, which is just a sized up zinger. How original. This one actually has some originality to it. You can't jump on it, so you have to throw barrels, and each time you hit it, it speeds up, making it more challenging as time goes on, which is really fun. But now, I have to address one of the biggest issues I have with the game. It completely reuses 2 previous bosses with minimal changes. These bosses are Really Naughty and Master Neki, Sr. Now, I understand that this game was groundbreaking and that it wasn't easy to make this game, but you're telling me they really couldn't just size up 2 more enemies? Like, come on, Rareware, it wouldn't have even been that hard. After those 2 is Dumb Drum, which is a barrel that spits out other enemies for you to fight, which is unoriginal. They couldn't even program an attack where the barrel rolls at you, like in the classic Donkey Kong. After that is the final boss of the game, King K. Rool. Now this boss fight is actually unique and fun. He starts off by throwing his crown at you, which you have to jump over. Then he rushes at you. After you jump on his head once, he starts bouncing around trying to stomp you, and then cannonballs start falling from the sky. Jump on his head a couple more times to take him out. Overall, the game is fun and challenging. However, sometimes the challenge of it all outweighs the fun, and it gets pretty repetitive. Hey! No, it's okay. There's nothing to be afraid of.
You're me!
Technically,
But how are you
yes.
here?
Look, the details are
But
unimportant.
how are you hit?
But I'm here to help you.
With what?
Reviewing a game.
What game?
Game & Watch Gallery 2 for the Game Boy Color.
Really?
Yeah. And killing you.
Wait, what?